The iPhone X was released in November of 2017, and it was given a lot of rep because it was supposed to be one of the first iPhones that was going to have a somewhat of a bezel-less display. The display was a Super Retina HD display, or basically a AMOLED display. It was 5.8 inches, supported HDR, and was 2436 by 1125, which is 458 pixels per inch. It had True Tone as well as 3D Touch, and had the famous N-emoji, which gave it all the rep. And the N-emoji, it takes your facial expressions and makes them into a type of emoji. And what was another big thing about the iPhone X was the notch, because part of this bezel-less display came with a notch because they had to put all their sensors, like the front-facing camera, the Face ID, the proximity sensor, somewhere. And they made a small notch to put all those sensors where they needed to be. And what also was a big hype for the iPhone X was the cameras. It had a dual 12 megapixel camera, one was a wide angle and one was a telephoto lens. Both supported autofocus as well as optical image stabilization. The wide angle lens had a f1.8 aperture and the telephoto lens had a f2.4 aperture. What also came with these cameras was the live photos, which when you take a picture you can hold it down and it will have like about a 2-second type of video. And the cameras are also capable of shooting in portrait mode, which portrait mode is when you focus on a subject and blur out the background. This can give you some stunning shots and it just look amazing for, like Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook. The iPhone X is capable of recording 4K at 24, 30, or 60 frames per second, as well as 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second, and 720p at 30 frames per second. There's also slow motion, which can be recorded in 1080p at 120 or 240 frames per second. And while you're taking a video, you can also take photos, which, that's a pretty cool thing to do because, let's say you're taking a video and you want to get that picture, but you accidentally clicked the wrong button. Well, you can take a picture while taking the video and now you got your picture. Okay, let's move on to the front of the phone. Front-facing camera is a 7 megapixel shooter, which is capable of recording at 1080p, and our next to that is the facial scanner, which is a 3D scanner and is very secure, which is more reliable than the iris scanner found on the S8. Now, the battery of the iPhone X, it is a 2716 milliamp battery capable of wireless charging and fast charging. It claims to be able to charge 50% in 30 minutes. However, with that fast charging capability, we need to buy a separate cable because the cable that comes with the iPhone X does not have fast charging. So that's just, one of the other downsides. And what's also, another downside of the iPhone X is there's no headphone jack and there's no expandable storage as well as the home button. But one very good upside is the stereo speakers. The speakers on the iPhone X are amazing. It is very high quality, rich sound, and it's just great. The iPhone X, it has a very high price tag of $1,000, which, not many people can afford. So the sales of the iPhone X are not going to be as high as they hoped. I would assume that because, who has $1,000 to spend on a phone? $1,000, that's enough for a down payment on a car. So, their prices are getting really high up there. So would I recommend the iPhone X? If you have the $1,000 to pay for one, of course, it has a great display. The cameras are beautiful. The sound quality is beautiful. Everything about this phone is great. There's nothing wrong besides, no headphone jack and no fingerprint sensor. But besides that, it's an amazing phone. So, if you have the money and if you're into Apple, of course, I would recommend this phone easily, without a doubt. But with the price tag, that's just one thing that makes it hard for people to want to get because, yeah, having a great phone is awesome, but having a great price tag, not so much. Well, alright guys, this is the end of my video. Make sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.